Hello everyone and welcome back to STW Sports, and today I'm going to be reviewing the EFL weekend from November the 6th until November the 7th. Of course, there was only championship games in the EFL this weekend due to FA Cup first round weekend, but I will be at the end of the video going over the biggest upsets from the FA Cup. Just as a little special, we're going to go over which non-league teams knocked out Football League clubs. There's actually quite a lot, surprisingly, but yeah, we'll get into that at the end of the video. For now, let's focus on the championship. Starting with the Friday night game on the Friday the 6th of November, Cardiff City 0, Bristol City 1. Big result for Bristol, this one. Cardiff haven't started well this season at home. I mean, they're really struggling at the Cardiff City Stadium. I don't know whether you can put that down to the lack of fans or you just put it down to the fact they're just not doing well at home. That's the only way to really think of it. But yeah, a loss here to Bristol City. As for Bristol, they scored in the second minute. Back-to-back wins now. Bristol are back in the playoffs, sitting 5th at the end of the weekend. Very good result for them. They'll be hoping this can push them forward. Just keep on going. They had a bit of a rocky few games, Bristol. They didn't win in 5. They've won the last 2, though. They're right back on track. I do still think Bristol will be right up there this season. As for Cardiff, I think they currently sit 15th. Not a great start. They need to start picking up form at home at the moment. Moving on to Saturday the 7th of November. Starting with the early kickoff. Reading 0, Stoke City 3. I mean, the wheels are really falling off Reading all of a sudden. After such a good start, it was a question of, is this just form or are Reading going to be the surprise package? I think we're finding out recently that Reading, it is looking very much like form. 3 losses in a row now, a very unconvincing performance at the weekend, losing 3-0 at home to Stoke City. They just never got into the game, Reading. It was a terrible performance. Stoke did very well, though. They've done very well so far this season. Michael O'Neill is getting the best out of this Stoke team. The last couple of years they've struggled in the Championship, but they could well be a good threat this year. They're doing very well. Moving on to Huddersfield Town 1, Luton Town 1. I mean, Luton Town have had a very good start to the season. Top half of the table. If you offered Luton fans top half of the table at this stage, they'd have certainly taken it. As for Huddersfield, they've had a pretty good start themselves, nowhere near the relegation battle. So yeah, both of these teams can be pretty satisfied with their starts. They played out a 1-1 draw here. It's probably a better result for Luton because it's away from home. But yeah, 1-1 draw, fair result in the end. Moving on to Brentford 0, Middlesbrough 0. Yeah, unfortunately, a little bit of a dull fest at Brentford. Brentford's home form's been pretty poor this season. They can't get going at their new stadium. You sometimes have that new stadium effect. Of course, no fans either will play a big part in that. As for Middlesbrough, though, they're unbeaten since the opening day still, but they are drawing a lot of games. But Middlesbrough have done very well. Will Neil Warnock guide them to another promotion? It is possible, but I just do think they'll miss out. But yeah, they're on great football. They're on a good run. They've not lost since the opening day of the season, so doing very well at the moment. It's contrast the last season when things were really going wrong for them. But fair play to Mills. They hung on for a 0-0 at Brentford. Sheffield Wednesday 0, Millwall 0. Oh, another 0-0. I mean, 2 0-0s in a row, I'm saying here. I mean, disappointing. Sheffield Wednesday should have won this game. They were miles the better team. And if you've heard the news this week, Sheffield Wednesday have now sacked Gary Monk. I mean, they were always fighting a losing battle, Sheffield Wednesday, weren't they? I mean, the points deduction. But to be fair, they're now off the bottom of the table with this draw. Not a terrible result, if you're asking me, for Sheffield Wednesday. Millwall are a good team. They'll be up there this season. But Millwall have hit a little bit of a rock in their last couple of games. No goals scored. A 3-0 defeat to Huddersfield last week. So they've hit a little bit of a rocky patch. But no, fair play to Millwall for hanging on here, though, because Sheffield Wednesday were the better team, but Millwall hung on for a pretty valuable point in the end. Watford 3, Coventry City 2. Very good result in the end for Watford. I mean, you'd expect Watford to beat Coventry at home, to be honest. They are, of course, in terms of quality, they should be beating Coventry with all due respect to them. Coventry made a very good fight in this game, quite an encouraging fight for them, because not getting rolled over in this game was, a lot of people expected them to, was good. I mean, a 3-2, they went 2-1 up in quick succession, but Watford hit back, and it was an Ismail Assar penalty in the 83rd minute that sealed the game and the points for Watford. Watford will looking like they're going to be up there this season. They've had a good start to the season. They're winning a lot of games at home. They've only drew 1, and that was to Bournemouth, who were also a Premier League side last season. Yeah, I'm going to say that this was probably my favourite game of the weekend in the Championship. I've just spoiled later on in the video, damn it. But yeah, fair play though to Watford. Good result. But as for Coventry, they came away empty-handed, but they can take a bit more pride out of this performance. It was much better. Blackburn Rovers 3, QPR 1. Yeah, good result for Blackburn. Adam Armstrong at the double. He's had a great start to the season. QPR are certainly missing Eze. I mean, Eze scored his first goal for Leeds for Palace at the weekend against Leeds as well. So he looks a real talent. QPR really look like a team who've lost their best player. They look at this season, they look a little bit deprived of ideas. It's not going great for them. As for Blackburn, they've been very hit and miss so far this season. Some games like this, they're free-flowing and they're playing well. Other games, it's not going so well. But Adam Armstrong is banging form for them. And the rest of the Blackburn team was playing great. They'd be right up there at the moment. But they got to hope they can keep Adam Armstrong keep scoring goals. And it might click for them later on in the season. Good result here, though. 3-1 against QPR. Birmingham City 1. Bournemouth 3. Great result for Bournemouth this. Bournemouth were brilliant against Birmingham City. I mean, 3-1. This was a bit of a statement win from Bournemouth, really. I mean, not quite as bad for Birmingham as a result against Bournemouth a few years ago. If you remember that 8-0 they had. But Bournemouth were good, though. Bournemouth lost their first game, of course, Sheffield Wednesday in the week. And a lot of people thought maybe Bournemouth are going to go on a bit of a rocky run now. That was not the case at Birmingham. They were very good. Bournemouth do look a good team. They've kept some good players like Jefferson Lerma, and they're giving opportunities to other players as well. I think Bournemouth, I mean, all the teams who got relegated are looking impressive at the moment, to be fair. But Bournemouth, though, I thought they'd struggle, but they're doing well at the moment. As for Birmingham, again, they're very hit and miss, Birmingham. You never know what you're going to get. It's looking like a mid-table season for them once again. It's not looking good. But yeah, fair play to Bournemouth, though. Very impressive. Nottingham Forest 2, Wycombe Wanderers 0. Nottingham Forest win back-to-back games for the first time this season. Chris Hughton, I think once he gets going with this team, they will climb the table. Chris Hughton's a very good Championship manager. There's no reason why they shouldn't climb the table. As for Wycombe, been brought back down to earth with this result, of course. Couple of wins in a row. Forest, though, you know, their last two games have been Coventry at home and Wycombe. They're two very winnable games that if they didn't win, you'd probably worried for their chances of staying up. But no, they have won them, though. 6 points out of 6. Forest just need to keep going now. It is an international break, of course, though, so the momentum probably will stop a little bit, but fair play. Like I say, once Chris Hughton gets hold of this team, it will be very good. As for Wycombe, disappointing, but they're still kind of climbing the table a little bit. They're still not doing too badly. Derby County 0, Barnsley 2. It goes from bad to worse for Derby. I mean, what's going on at Derby County? I mean, playoff finalists just a year and a half ago, one game away from the Premier League. And now they're rock bottom of the Championship. And they're rock bottom even with Sheffield Wednesday had a -6 point deduction. Technically, it was -12, but he got halved. It's not been going good for Derby. And I mean, if Derby fans were at the stadium, there's no way Philip Cocu would have lasted this long. He would be gone by now. I mean, I see why they're sticking with him because it's one of them, but it's his second season now. They have to get it right eventually. As for Barnsley, good result for them. I believe that's now 3 wins out of 4 under the new manager. Things are looking good for them. As for Derby, they need to sort this out at the moment. They're losing games that they should not be losing. It's not looking good for them. They need to get out of this state as they could be in trouble. Norwich City 1, Swansea City 0. What a result this is for Norwich. I mean, Norwich have started well. I mean, they're starting to look a little bit like their 18-19 selves, where, of course, Pukki's firing and, like, Buendia and, you know, players like that. But this was a win against a Swansea team who are playing really well. Swansea was second before when the weekend started, but it was a good game. Norwich managed to get the win in the end. A big result for them. Staffman got the goal for them as well. Yeah, huge for Norwich. They really can kick on after this victory. They're doing well now, Norwich. They had a bit of a struggling start, but all of a sudden things are looking up. You know, I think this is a big win. I mean, I don't think it's going to damage Swansea much. They'll probably recover from this. But as for Norwich's confidence, this is very good indeed. So, a big, I mean, it's early days to talk about promotion, but a big boost there. Rotherham 2, Preston North End 1. I mean, you really don't know what to make of Preston, do we? I mean, this is Preston's first loss of the season away from home. They've lost all their home games. Now they've lost an away one. As for Rotherham, what a result for them. Rotherham are doing better right now than they have done in Championship, even without the crowd at home games, of which I really thought they relied on in their previous seasons. They are looking good at the moment, Rotherham, and they're doing okay. They're like 19th. They're not doing great, but they're steering away from relegation, which is all that matters with their Championship track record over the last few years. But yeah, fair play to Rotherham. Big win for them. As for Preston, very inconsistent team, Preston. Very, probably the most inconsistent in the Championship right now. You just never know what you're going to get from them. Right, so, game of the weekend, of course, Watford 3, Coventry 2, as I already spoiled earlier on in the video. Very good game, 5-goal thriller. A game that a lot of people thought Watford would win comfortably. fair play to them. They did get the result in the end. But as for Coventry, they made a good fight of it. Result of the weekend, I've controversially gone for Norwich 1, Swansea 0. Mainly because Norwich, I mean, this is a big win for them. This is just a big win for Norwich, and I feel like this will boost them forward. They'll probably lose like 4 in a row now, won't they? But yeah, I do think this can boost them forward, and it's just a win that I think was a bit of a statement victory from them as well. This had draw written all over it this game, so whoever won it would have been massive for. I'm probably overdoing this a bit. It's probably just a standard win for them, but still. I could have said Reading's versus Stoke, but like Reading's form at the moment, it's not that much of a shock. And of top scorer is Adam Armstrong with 11 goals. What a start to the season he's had. He's in great form. I mean, Blackburn are really relying on him right now. They need to get the rest of the team firing. If it was for Adam Armstrong's goals, they're going to be up there. If he keeps scoring, it will get better for them eventually. But yeah, great for him. And yeah, what a start to the season. He made 11 goals already. Moving on now to the FA Cup talking points. On Monday night, I believe it was, Oxford beat Northampton Town by 2-1. Oxford City, though, not Oxford United, a non-league team knocking out Northampton Town. Brilliant stuff for them. Good result. And to go through all the other ones, so you had Wigan, 2013 winners knocked out by Chorley, 3-2 after extra time. Embarrassing Wigan. It goes from bad to worse for them. Bottom of League One, and now they're knocked out the FA Cup in the first round as well. Scunthorpe United 2, Solihull Moors 3. Great for Solihull Moors, but a bit of an off day there for Scunthorpe. Barnet 1, Burton Albion 0. Yeah, great result for Barnet there, knocking out struggling Burton Albion, who are also near enough bottom of League One. But still though for Barnet, a couple of leagues below, great result. 3 leagues below actually, great result for them. But Boreham Wood drew 3-3 with Southend United, but Boreham Wood won on penalties. I mean, the way this is going this is really a shock. I mean, Southend have been that bad this season. I don't even think this could go down as a shock. But still, though, good result for Boreham Wood. They went for on penalties in the end. Colchester United 1, Marine 1, and Marine won on penalties. I mean, what a result for Marine. It was away from home as well. Absolutely brilliant result for them. I mean, wow. I mean, Colchester were humble. I mean, I know Colchester are a League 2 team and everything, but they were humbled in this game by them. Fair play to Marine. Very good. Rochdale 1, Stockport County 2. Excellent from Stockport, knocking out League 1 Rochdale, mid-table League 1 Rochdale at that matter. Port Vale 0, Kings Lynn 1. I mean, yeah, that's pretty bad, especially at home for Port Vale. And then Swindon Town 1, Darlington 2. I miss Darlington in League 2. I miss the days they were up there in League 2. And they were a fun team back when I was growing up. But yeah, as for Swindon, though, bad result for them. But their main focus, of course, is League 1. Don't want to make excuses for teams who got knocked out of the Cup, however. Still no excusing, but yeah, they lost 2-1. And finally, after 9 non-league teams knocked out, or Football League teams, we move on to the game of the week in the FA Cup. And what a game it was. Torquay United 5, Crawley Town 6 after extra time. An absolute thriller of a game. I mean, wow, what a game of football this was. Crazy scenes from start to finish. Amazing stuff. All I'm going to say is, fair play to Crawley. Absolute fair play. And fair play to Torquay. Both played their part. An extraordinary game. The goalkeeper from Crawley is okay now, I'm glad to say as well. So that's great news for him. Yeah, but that is all I can say. If you haven't seen the Crawley v Torquay game, go watch it. It's an amazing encounter. An FA Cup classic. If anyone thinks the FA Cup is dead, show them this game. Amazing stuff. But yeah, that is a wrap on my EFL reviews and throwing in a few FA Cup shocks. Thank you very much for watching, everyone. Please like, share and subscribe, and I'll see you soon. Thank you very much.